I am a teacher who has taught for over 30 years. And when CBC first came, as teachers, we were told to go and attend the training that we did not know. Well, we went. Those who were training us were never trained. So they were reading pamphlets to us, and for 1 week. While the teacher training college, we took 2 years for us to understand what we were supposed to go and deliver to the learner. When CBC now kicked off, we saw a loophole. The Kenya Institute of Curriculum Design didn't consult with the teachers on the correct thing to give to a particular child of a particular age. You find a boy or a girl of grade 5 who is only 12 years old doing science and technology, something that you as a teacher, I met with it in Form 3. So it means these young boys and girls are given what is beyond their age. 2, the previous system, we were having children, we could identify those who were not able to read and write, and so we could talk to the parents that we help the child. But in CBC, whenever a child has reached grade 3 and has been given an assessment number, this child will automatically go whether he knows how to read and write, whether he or she knows how to read. Reading is important. The CBC books are voluminous. 2, they are wordy. You find a child who cannot read, and you give him or her English grade 4, grade 5, which has a lot of paragraphs. They get tired along the way. They cannot be able to read. When Kenya National Examination Council sets their exams, we also see they don't consult with the teachers, but they bring to us the assessment rubrics and what we are supposed to do with a learner who does not know how to read and write. And they expect the teachers to give back the good results. A child should be exceeding, meeting, below. And even if you tell the Kenya National Examination Council that a child is below, that child will still move on. So we are even seeing a challenge with the grade 9s who are going to choose their pathways. These same children are going to be confused in senior school, because they're the same ones that when you give a question, they answer a question with a question, because that is a challenge of not knowing how to read. So our hands are tied as teachers, and we have to do what is good because we are also protecting our employment. The government gave us ultimatum. You must go. If you fail to go, you will be interdicted. So what can a teacher do? I must protect my job. I will go there. Whether I am understanding it or not, my presence is what the government wanted, not what I'm going to deliver and give to the child. We came out blank. The first 1 week, we came out blank. We were retooled again. You come out with only one thing, while what is expected of you is so broad. So after the 3 times retooling, still a teacher is not able to do what is expected of him or her. And we find it very frustrating because we love these children and we want them to excel in life. But here we are giving them things that are half-baked. We are not happy, but this is the same government that we are serving, the same government that has given us this curriculum, the same government that insists that it must take place. So I am working for my employer and I must do what my employer wants. I am not a happy teacher because I'm not now producing what I want. It is true, teaching is a call. These young men and women come to these junior schools to teach. They are specialized. When they're doing their interviews, they produce their certificates to show that they are specialized in a particular area. When they come to junior schools, the hands of the principals in junior schools are also tied. And so when they ask, you are giving me this social studies, but I came here to teach maths and theory. Then the principal tells them in comprehensive school, there is no specialization. So my question is, why are they making these young boys and girls to specialize and then bring them to do what they do not know? You find a teacher who didn't even do agriculture in Form 4, so he went to university, but brought back, at this agriculture you must do, you must teach this child must pass, and must exceed or meet. When they come complaining, you tell them in comprehensive schools, there is no specialization. So you will have to teach, because all those, we call them learning areas. These days, they are not called subjects, they are learning areas. So in those learning areas, the learners must be attended to. And if you complain you cannot be able to do that, here there is no specialization, please work. And as a supervisor of the institution, the head of that institution will have to supervise whether the teaching is taking place and all the subject areas are covered. There are some schools which are lucky because they border the day secondary schools. So they can go and do their practicals in the laboratories in their neighboring secondary schools. But for those who do not have such, it is forcing the head of that institution to create a room. And if that room is not available, like they are not available now, the same class that the learners are learning is the same. Maybe the head of institution must improvise a cupboard to put those things. But the young ones that we are teaching, they want to do what is called adventuring, and they want to know what is there. So they are anxious. If the cupboard is not closed, it is dangerous to their lives. They can open it and start mismanaging them if the teacher is not there. But the facilities are not enough. The education system has really been affected, and so we are waiting for the end results, especially the grade 9s that are going to senior school, that they are going to use the pathways. The same children, you ask them today, which pathway? Because we are told to sensitize them, to guide them according to their ability as teachers. But when you ask them, they are very green. So you are taking a child to STEM pathway, that child who doesn't know that in STEM, what am I going to do in senior school? So we are seeing teachers of senior school are going to be more shocked. They have only been retooled once, and they are waiting for these same learners to go to their schools, and they are specializing. I don't know how they are going to handle it. First, these people ought to have consulted. All the stakeholders ought to have been consulted, teachers included, but they never consulted. They just brought it, and it landed with a bang. Teacher, you must go for training. These are the things you must teach. Books are brought. Yes, we have enough books, but the learner who is using this book is confused. We as school heads, we were forced to go, and we were to carry at least 2 teachers or 3 teachers from our institutions. And those teachers also must sit there for the 1-week training. The government was catering for their meals, but the implementation was so challenging. I, as the head of institution, I didn't understand anything. I cannot go now and assess a teacher if I didn't understand what am I going to learn or assess from this teacher. Let's take the pioneers of CBC, and now we come back to now the ones that are ongoing. That's a whole generation that has been wasted. I'm telling you, you are still talking about it in primary. Wait for these learners to go to senior school. There are going to be more challenges, and I don't know how those teachers are going to handle them. They keep on asking, comprehensive school teachers, can you tell us a little bit about CBC? It means they are as raw as we were when it was being brought. And theirs is more complicated than ours.